My pranams to all Atma Jyotis, divine light of the self. The question is, the buddhi, the intellect, gets corrupted by the ahankara, ego. How can I realize truth? How can I do this? How can I self realize myself with that ego, with the intellect which is corrupted by the ego? How can I do that? So the process is the contemplation. Let us understand three different types of thinking. Okay. When ego is thinking, we will call it as thinking. Ego-based thinking. What is the reference for ego-based thinking? The self is I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect. Right? I am the body, I am the mind, intellect is the ego-based thinking. That's the reference. Whatever you say, ego-based thinking, this is the reference in the background. Right? Let us say intellect wants to investigate the thinking, that is called discrimination. Understand? Intellect is able to discriminate what is right, what is wrong. What is right, what is wrong. Of course, the discrimination can come under the influence of the ego, but intellect can find out what is right, what is wrong. That's called discrimination. Thinking of the intellect, let's call it discrimination. Right? So then there is a witness, Sakshi. The Sakshi will take the assistance of the intellect to think. Okay? And the assistance taken by the Sakshi for thinking is called contemplation. Okay? So the ego takes the assistance of the intellect for thinking. That's called thinking. Intellect thinks by itself. It's called discrimination. The Sakshi takes the help of the intellect to think. Okay? So this is called contemplation.
But why will Sakshi take assistance?
Sakshi is the witness.
Yeah, it won't do anything.
No, Sakshi is the witness, right? So the witness, what it witnesses the intellect, input given by the intellect.
It will witness.
Right? It will witness. So now, input given by the intellect earlier is corrupt by the ego. So Sakshi is also identified with the body, mind, and intellect because they corrupted input. These guys have given a wrong information. So it has taken the wrong information. Sakshi. It doesn't judge. It has accepted that wrong information. So there is a feeling in the Sakshi that I am the body, mind, and intellect because the wrong information given fed to the Sakshi through the ego. Right? Now the Sakshi has to become free, so then same intellect has to be used for that. Intellect is the instrument of Sakshi or the ego. Right? So now what does intellect do? How does it happen now? How does this trigger, contemplation triggers? In day-to-day interaction, normally this contemplation doesn't trigger at all. Discrimination may come into picture or thinking may come into picture. Thinking is based on your past impressions. Discrimination is because you have to take a decision. I have to do that, I have to do this. Mostly for you did the work. But the moment you receive some input about your true nature, then the contemplation can start. How do you receive the information about your true nature? That information about your true nature comes from the Sadguru, realized master. Sadguru says, you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are not the intellect, you are pure consciousness. ನಾನು ನಾನೆಂಬುದು ನಾನಲ್ಲ ಈ ದೇಹ ಮನ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ನಾನಲ್ಲ ಸಚಿದಾನಂದ ಆತ್ಮ ಶಿವನಾನು ನಾನೇ. It says that. Now this is the first time Sakshi is getting a new input. Earlier it was always thinking that associating the body and mind intellect because of the wrong information given by the intellect. Right? So this input is taken. This is actually called somebody who trusts you, whom you trust, the guru. There's some input which comes from untrustworthy sources, you will not even think about it. The information comes from a realized master, Sadguru, whom you respect, or it can come from scriptures. It says Tattvamasi, you are that. Okay. Or Sadguru may give you practice. Practice is what? Again and again contemplate on I am, what you call as Brahman, I am consciousness. You contemplate on it. So the contemplation practice is for the self, Jivatma.